Peace and love. What's going on? It's Javon, Dr. Love Jones. Make sure you subscribe. I'm doing my 30-day content challenge here on YouTube. I'll be uploading content every day. So make sure you are subscribed so you can see all the content, and let's chop it up. All right. So today is one of those tough days for me to do this because I'm not at my highest energy. It's because at the time I'm shooting this is at night and I'm more closer to bed than I am to being up. But we here, right? Just like in yesterday's video, I'm in my tank top. It's funny. I'm training myself to say tank top more because I grew up calling this a wife beater. But as I've aged and realized that that's not really a good name to use because that's a traumatic situation, and to call a garment wife beater is not in my vibration. I've grown from that, right? And I think that's something we all should be mindful of what we call things, because that is a traumatizing thing. That is not something I stand for as a man. I'm against abuse from all people. Abuse against men. I mean, abuse against men, abuse against women, abuse against children. No form of abuse I support. Right. So, but anyways, here's what I want to talk to you guys about. I remember when I was 14 years old. I did my first year in high school. As if you haven't checked out my first video, I was in special education from grade 1 to grade 12. And in that time, I went to a special ed school that was strictly for special educated students. So I've been in classrooms with all types of people with different disabilities and mental disorders. I've been there, right? So I graduated valedictorian in going from eighth grade to my middle school to high school, right? So my freshman year in high school, um, that summer I got me a summer job, and it was working for the city of Newark. Uh, that's where I'm from, Newark, New Jersey. So I was working for the city of New York. They had a summer program for high schoolers to come in and make some money over the summer, right? So I could remember when I'm seeing they going through different people are there getting assignments to the location that they're gonna work. And I don't know what got my attention, but on my folder is a manila folder, that beige looking folder. I saw a red dot and it says HDCP. When I saw that, I flipped. I was upset. I felt some type of way. I let it be known. I lost my cool at 14 years old. It wasn't nice. And one thing about me, even now as an adult, I sometimes get so angry and so caught up in my emotions that I can't even formulate words. I will be the most and I'm very articulate in my words. When I'm angry, I get de-articulate. I just lose my ability to say words and words come out. So eventually, as I calm down, I express that I see HECP and I don't want people to think I'm handicapped. And I was so adamant that I didn't want them to give me a job based off something because they feel like it's something only for handicapped people to do, because I resented being considered handicapped. At 14 years old, I was an athlete, I was playing sports. There's nothing handicapped about me. And they explained because I go to a special ed school, but I just wasn't trying to hear that because I'm not handicapped. Why I tell you that story? Because it came to me in the memory, I would say about 6 months ago, during my quiet and still moments. And I remind like I it made me think about how sharp I was to pick that out, and they were surprised I was able to pick it out. I could see how they was reacting, like, oh, they didn't realize that I noticed that. And I know there's a couple other kids that saw that folder and saw that and didn't notice, but I picked it out. And it made me realize that from a very young age, I was not, I was misdiagnosed from special ed. The fact that they said I had a learning disability and a speech disorder, that was not it. I always had of awareness, and I was very observant, and I always knew what was going on around me. But because that was put on me, it took me a lot of years to like shake that off of me. And it gave me this one, I became very socially awkward because I was not in a normal functioning environment. Like I said, I've been in a classroom with kids that got Down syndrome, kids that had cerebral palsy, some kids just was deaf, some had other, just a lot of different things going on. So communication was not always the greatest. Sometimes I tend to be like a class clown, telling jokes and doing all the things, just a way to get me through. The work for the most part was easy and simple. I wasn't struggling with work because I felt like you could put me in a normal learning environment. I would be able to learn, understand, and pass those classes. I was valedictorian going to eighth grade and going in and graduating from high school. If you ask me, I would have been valedictorian in any environment because my mentality was to stand above everybody else. So if you raise that ceiling a bit from the ceiling that I was at in a special ed environment, raise that ceiling a bit, I would have grew, and I grew that ceiling too. I would have met that expectation. So I know that at that point as a kid, my job as a kid, I wanted to prove everyone I was not special ed. And y'all made a mistake by getting me here. So I did my test and I passed it with some of the best marks, right? My biggest problem was my mouth, but I don't want to get too crazy into that. My main reason for telling you that, as I said, just to show you how sharp I am. And I want everybody to, when they reflect on themselves, sometimes look at the good aspects of who you are. Because when you reflect on those good traits of who you are, as you get older, you start to appreciate it and you start to see it. And then now, me having a kid, I'm, I'm looking to see what some of the traits I noticed in me and my child that I see in my daughter. So I want us to always reflect on our younger selves. It's good to go visit your younger self. It's cool, but reflect on a younger version of yourself and pick out some of the good things about you that you could have fond memories on. And because that's part of inner child healing that is necessary for growth. You cannot heal if you are constantly holding on to your inner child trauma, your inner child turmoil, your inner child hurt, all of that is going to minimize your ability to grow and be better. All right, so I hope I didn't bore you too much with my story. My energy, as you can see, my eyes is real low. I'm pretty tired, but we doing 30 days. 30 days. And I can't stop on day 3. We got 27 more days, but we're going to get it done. I'm going to make sure we do 30 days of this content you're going to hear. And every day is something different. Every day you're going to hear something new about me. So let's make sure y'all subscribe, comment your thoughts below, and let's just continue to grow and share this live to whoever you know. Peace and love. Have a great one.